Here we go. Chav Beis, Amid Beis. We're going to take it from the Mishnah. I'm going to go a little bit faster. If I'm going too fast, someone wave a too fast flag or yell on Zoom or something. I'm going to try not to go too fast, but let's go. He says, Ukasei Baroish HaGol. Chav Beis and Beis on the bottom. Someone makes a sukkah on the top of a wagon. Or Baroish HaSfina on the top of a boat. Ksheira, V'oilon La B'yantif. It's kosher and you got to go into the yantif. If you make a sukkah on top of a tree or on top of a camel, ksheira, but why not? Rashi says, Gezer derabanan, that you might come to pull off a branch from the tree. End of part A of the Mishnah. Part B of the Mishnah. If two of the what's, either it means the walls of the sukkah themselves, that's how Taisus learned. The picture books went with Rashi, that meant the supports of the sukkah. Two of the supports of the sukkah are by a tree, and one is the Adam. Or Yishtayim the Adam v'achas b'ilan, ksheira, ve'ein oilun la b'yantif. Why can't you go on any yantif? Because the main sukkah is being held up by a tree, and the same gezerah, the same rabbinical decree will apply. Shalosh b'nei adam v'achas b'ilan. If we have three supports or walls by a person and one by a tree, then ksheira, and oilun la b'yantif, because it can stand by itself. Zeh klal, top line of Chav Gimel Amud Aleph. This is the rule. Kol sheyinotel ha'ilon v'yichol alamod b'fnei ha'atzmoi. If you could take out the tree and it will still stand, ksheira and va'ilin la b'yantif. Says the Gemara, Mani Masnisen, who's the Tana of the Mishnah, Rabbi Akiva. Who's Rabbi Akiva the Tanya? He says, Rabbi Gamliel Paisel, Rabbi Akiva Machshir. And we have a beautiful story. Ma'isa, Rabbi Gamliel, Rabbi Akiva, they were traveling on a boat. Rabbi Akiva Vasasukah Rosh Hasfina. Rabbi Akiva got up and he made a sukkah on the top of a boat. Lamachar the next day. Nashba Ruach, the wind blew Akarasa, and it uprooted the entire sukkah. Rabbi Gamliel Akiva Heichad Sukkascha. This just where is your sukkah? This reminds me that we had yesterday a similar lashon. No, Akiva Heichad Sukkascha. What do we have? We had Mazeh Akiva. Where was that? No. Am I remembering? That was in Nazir? Shoot. Okay, that was in Nazir. But I was just thinking, is there something there be Akiva that they're all yelling at him? Was it Nazir? Okay. Givaldik. Oh, Baruch Hashem. Okay. That means you have to do Chazarah of everything. Omer Abaye, here we go. Says Abaye, Dekuli Alma, everyone agrees. Hey Chadin, if the sukkah cannot stand in a regular wind on dry land, like Lomi, that's not a debate. Everyone agrees that is possible. A regular wind blows, called of sukkah. On the opposite extreme, if it could stand on an Einoi Mitsuya, a hurricane on dry land, it's kosher. Ki pligi, what's the machlekes? Rav Kiva says kosher, Rav Gamliel says pasul, is when it could stand on dry land, but we're going with Tigirs on the side, it can't stand with the regular wind on the ocean. Rav Gamliel savar, here we have a Chazarah Menachem back from Dav Chaf. Sukkah diras keva, like Rabbi Yehuda and Rabbi Shimon. Sukkah diras keva binan. V'kiva dein yichol amid bruach matzuya diyam. Like Lomi. Can't stand on the ocean. It's nothing. Why? Because it has to be keva. Keva means in all scenarios it has to withstand the normal wind. Rabbi Kiva Savar, Sukkah Diras Harai Binon, Kiva Dichol Amid Bruch Matziya Diabasha, Ke Sheira. Once it can stand in regular land, that is enough. And we continue. Any questions? Okay, Al Gabi Gomel. 2 dots. Al Gabi Gomel. Smack in the middle of Chav Gimel Amud Aleph. Masnis and Mani, who is the Tan of the mission? Here it goes, Chavra. Here goes Rabbi Meir. The animal, here's the long haul. I don't think we're going to get all the way, but this is the Chazarah. Masnisan Mani Rabbi Meir the Tanya. He says to Kasayal Gabe Behema. Rav Meir is the Machshir, Rav Yehuda is Paisel. So already in our mind, we can conjure up the multiple ways that we have Rav Meir. We have Rav Meir A, that's going to be right now. Then we have Rav Meir B, that's going to come up in a blot and a half when we pull out the big Ella, rip out the blot and a half, and we have a new Pshat in Rav Meir. So today we'll deal with Rav Meir A. Very good. My time, I skipped. Rav Meir Machshir, Rav Yehuda Paisel. My time with Rav Yehuda. So first we deal with Rav Yehuda. Why does Rav Yehuda say it's possible if you make it a sukkah top of a behema? You have to make a sukkah for 7 days. Sukkah ruya l'shiva. That's Shema Sukkah. That's a sukkah. But sukkah she'en ruya l'shiva lo yishmei sukkah. V'Rav Meir, what does he say? He says, Anami midaraisa mechzeh chazi. And anyone who was wondering yesterday, or 2 days ago I should say, when the Gemara said that the whole debate within Rav Meir is a din d'Rabbanan, the Gemara already said that. We forgot this line. The Gemara already told us that Rav Meir is only handling a din d'Rabbanan. Because Rav Meir said on the D'Oraisa level it could stand. For Rabbanan u de Chazarah, it's only a din d'Rabbanan. Now it's true, this is a sukkah al gabi behima.
Meir say Paisel and
D'Rabbanan. It still could be Paisel. It's Paisel on D'Rabbanan level. Now, I'm going to be transparent.
So
this is...
But here we said Meir is Machshir.
Again, that's al gabi behema. Slow. We're about to get to the next case. Very good. That's what I was about to point out. That's al gabi behema versus the behema being daif in the sukkah. But l'chayra, we just have a precedent that Rav Meir is handling in the din d'Rabbanan. Very good. Let's go. Truth is, I should be even more honest. I jumped the gun. It's not the right d'Rabbanan. Chavra, wipe that away from the screen. Rav Menachem is correct. It's the wrong d'Rabbanan. This is the Rabbanan of a sukkah al gabi behema. This is the Rabbanan over there. We're dealing with our sukkah as the behema being the wall of the sukkah. Okay, everyone wiped it clean. Everyone's brains are blank. Okay, no comments. Baruch Hashem. Asa behema l'daif in the sukkah. Here we go. About 18 lines from the wide lines. First word of the line is asa. Asa lebehema daif in the sukkah. If you made the behema a wall for the sukkah, Rav Meir now says Paisel, Rav Yehuda Machshir. Shahaya Rav Meir Omer. Why did Rav Meir say it's possible? Called Avrishish Baruch Chayim. Anything that has air in it is living. You're not allowed to use it for the wall of a sukkah, the lechi for the mavoi, the vertical beam. It can't be that fake wall around the well. There was our goylel, the tombstone for the grave. Mishum Rav Yosi Haglili Amru, which we learned yesterday. Af in kaisin alav gite nashim. Period. My time of Rav Meir. Why does Rav Meir say the animal cannot be a wall for the sukkah? We have a machlokes. Abai Amar Shema Tamos. Rav Zera Amar Shema Tivrach, which now I can make the comment I made before that I jumped the gun. Shema Tamus Shema Tivrach is clearly a din d'Rabbanan. You'll never have a daraisa Shema. Doesn't really make any sense on the daraisa level. The Shema is a rabbinical concern. How could this be your wall? Your wall might blow up. How could this be your wall? Your wall might run away. These are dini d'Rabbanan. Machlekes Abaya and Rav Zera as to why Rav Meir says an animal cannot be a wall for your sukkah. So says the Gemara first, before anything else, before we delve deep into trying to see whether Abaya is correct or Rav Zera is correct, number one is what's the case? What is the case of the Mishnah? Says the Gemara, Pipil kosher kuli amalei pligi. If I have an elephant that's tied up, everyone agrees that's going to be kosher. Why? Dinami mayis, because even according to Abaya, that's worried the animal's going to die. Yesh ben avilasal yud. The nevela, the carcass, as yudfachim, so there's really no concern. Ki pligi, when do we have a machlekes Abaya and Rav Zera? Bepil she'enoi kosher. There's no problem. Why is there no problem? Because the nevela, the carcass, has 10 tefachim. Very good. We still have to be concerned that elephant's going to run away. Asks the Gemara 1 second. You just told me is not concerned. Because even if the elephant dies, the nevela, the carcass has 10 tefachim and it's kosher wall for the sukkah. Nechosh shema tivrach. 3 lines in the wide lines. Why are we now worried it's going to run away? Meaning, It's a very svara, very logical concern. That elephant is not just going to sit there for the next 7 days. So why is he not worried about that? Says the Gemara, you're right. What?
More so than dying.
Maybe even more so than dying. Correct. Says the Gemara, you're right. New case. If it's not tied up, we're all going to agree. You got to be worried it might run away, and it's possible. What's the machlekes? Ki bligi bibehema, a small animal, kshura. That's tied up. Last narrow line. Now the mandamar that says it might die, he's worried. Why is he worried? Because it's a behema, it's small, and if it dies, you're not going to have a wall for your sukkah. According to the mandamar that says we have gzera, it might run away. Why not? Because it's tied up. Now the Gemara flips the coin and says, very good. According to the mandamar that says it's not going to run away, there's no problem because it's tied up. Why is he not worried? It's going to die. Again, a logical concern. But now the Gemara finally answers, like you were saying, Misa lo shlicha. That's going to be the debate at what level we're concerned for Misa. One mandamer says we're not concerned. We're only concerned it's going to run away. If it's tied up, there's no concern. The other mandamer say we are concerned. Asks the Gemara. Now we finished the case. We got the case. What's the case? The case is that we have a behema that is tied up. That's the case that we have a debate. Abaya and Rav Zera within Rameir whether the animal's going to be kosher. So the truth is, if you want to be perfectly honest, for the next blot, when we get involved in the whole sheet of Rameir that says the sukkah wall is possible, the animal is the wall, what's the case? This little animal, that's tied up. Says the Gemara, 1 second. How could it ever be kosher? 3 lines to the bottom. You have the space between the legs. Space between the legs will be a big hole in the wall of your sukkah. So forget it running away. Forget it dying. You have a hole in your sukkah wall. Answers the Gemara, you're right. You take sticks and whatnot and you tie it up between the legs. You make sure there's no hold. Very good. Says Gemara, River. But maybe this little animal is going to crouch down. And again, you're not going to have 10 tvachim wall. Says Gemara, you're right. It ties up with the strings from the top so it can't move.
Why couldn't we say with the space in the legs, the whole Gemara we learned about oil or whatever, say it's less than 3, fall down.
So
if you consider
no. The problem is, I'm not a farmer. I guess we're clearly both not farmers. Apparently, animals have more than 3 tvachim between their legs, the height. Theoretically, you'd be right. If it's a very small animal, theoretically, if it's less than 3 tvachim, you'd have loved in a chanam. Says the Gemara, what do you say? Yeah, let's go back. Ask the Gemara, what about the space between the legs of the animal? Very good, you have a small animal that's tied up. So very good, we're not worried that it's going to run away. And the machlokes is whether we care about it dying. What about the hole? You have a hole between the legs, which should make a big fat hole in the wall of your sukkah. Answers the Gemara. You make for it chutza as some sort of palm branches, vidafna, some sort of leaves that you take these things and you tie between the legs and you stuff up the hole so you don't have a hole in the wall of your sukkah. Givaldik. V'tel Mariva, asks the Gemara. Maybe the animal's going to crouch down and now it's not going to be a tall enough wall for your sukkah. Answers the Gemara. Tematicha ba'ashli mil'el, that you hold it up with ropes from up top. So now the case is, we have a little animal tied up with ropes holding it up, with the legs shtuped up, the legs hold up with these leaves and whatnot. That's the case, whether the machlekes is, are we afraid it's going to die? Asks the Gemara, 1 second. According to the mandamar that says we're afraid it's going to die. And if it's going to die, you're not going to have your sukkah because the carcass is not big enough. Nami, ha-meticha me'ashli mileel, but it's meticha, it's taut. It's pulled up with the ropes from the top. So if it's pulled up with the ropes from the top, even if it dies, it shouldn't be a problem. But with this we conclude, says the Gemara, zimnin demuki be'pachas mishleish. At times, you're going to have a 7 tefach animal, and you're going to put it within 3 tefachim from the roof of the sukkah. So you can have lava that closes up that top gap. Samach l'schach, near the schach. And then what happens as we turn over to Chav Gimel Amid Beis, the Kivan de Ma'isa, when the animal dies, kivsa, it shrivels up a little bit, it shrinks a little bit. V'lava daiti, you're not going to know about it. And that little bit, the mandamar gzir shema tamus is worried about, it kills your loved to drop more than 3 tefachim, thereby puzzling the wall of your sukkah. That's why Abaye holds shema tamus, or Meir holds it's going to be puzzle. We'll pick it up. Chav Gimel Amid Beis, top line, Chazarah again. Tomorrow night, B'siyat Shmaya, we'll try to send out a review of Chav Gimel Amud Aleph as well. And let's try to get a Gvaldika Chazarah. We need a few people for Ma'ariv.